Deadzone Rogue kind of caught me off guard, if I'm being honest. It's surprisingly good. And that comes largely as a surprise because I don't tend to care for first or third person roguelike shooters. It's really hard to compare them to some of the better entries in the genre, like Returnal, which may be one of the best roguelikes ever, let alone shooter roguelikes. They also tend to try to do too many different things, and oftentimes they succeed at a few things and then fail, and it becomes this like messy, weird amalgamation of genres that doesn't work. But this game sticks to what it's good at and does it pretty well, to be honest. There's a lot of really positives and a few minor criticisms that I have. But let's start with the positives. The positive here is number one, the gunplay is really, really good. For an indie developer in an early access game, the gunplay is really crisp here. I will say on controller, it does feel like the aim assist is a little too strong at times, but it's fun. It's interesting. It's snappy and crisp on the gunplay. It reminds me a lot of Hades if Hades was a roguelike shooter instead of a top-down isometric like ability use type of roguelike. Um, you go from room to room and you kill enemies and you choose upgrades. There's vendors and different ways of augmenting your abilities, tons of different build choices and options. It's not class based by any stretch. It is more vertical progression in terms of the type of weapon and the type of element or the type of damage that you want to do. So there's a ton of really good choices in that regard. And it just generally is relatively challenging. Jumping from one difficulty to the next is very tough. But there are a few criticisms that I have. It does kind of feel a little bit shallow in terms of how much content is there at this moment. It does get a little bit repetitive, but I do expect that there will be plenty more to do as they move deeper into their development cycle. There are also quite a bit of difficulty levels. So even if you do find yourself bored at a lower level, you can move up to the next level. And it is a substantial jump. Also, weapon balance between different types of weapons seems to be a little bit hit or miss at times here. For example, shotguns, from my experience here, were substantially worse than like SMGs or assault rifles. And I do think that there's a little bit of a balance issue in terms of some of the elemental damage, like frost tends to be a little bit weaker, in my opinion, than fire or void. Electric, etc., don't seem to have a whole lot of balance. But overall, this is a really good entry into the genre, and I'm pretty impressed. So I'm feeling about a 7.5 to a light 8 on this one. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this game and if you enjoyed it in the comments down below.